Okay, so we're barely into March and I'm gonna be doing a March mortgage news update. Yes, and based on what I'm seeing right now, there may be 5 of these. Yes, 5 of these. So at the end of last month, I talked about rates and how I was looking at my phone, watching rates going up, like clutching my pearls, going, oh my goodness, what is happening? Okay, so like, normally, if we saw a big jump like that, at some point it would level off and there would be some level of stability. Yeah. Whoa, no, So here's what's going on. Basically, for the last few weeks, multiple times per day, rates are changing. Yes, so like for instance, if I talk to a client at 9 a.m. and say, hey, you know, I'd love to lock you in. Can I please lock you at this? And they say, oh, Jen, let me talk to my husband. I'll get back with you. If they call me back at 3, my rates may have already changed 4 times. 4 times. 4 times, guys. The market is moving so much right now that literally what I used to do is I would, before I called a client, I would go into my computer, I would open up the application, I would run rates first, I would pick up the phone, I would call them, and then I would go through the rates with them. No, I can't even do that anymore. You know, we're risking now that between the time that I run rates, pick up the phone, and like I'm talking about 5 minutes here, right? That if I go back into pricing, it might be suspended for a reprice, or the rates may be different because it may have repriced. So if you are thinking about refinancing, if you guys are buying, so first, my refinancers, guys, if you like a rate, have the lender lock it. We can't lock it without an application. So what I'm basically telling people is, look, this is where I am at this very moment in time. If you get your application in as quickly as possible, I will do my best to lock it at this rate, but there are 0.0 guarantees. The only time in this market right now I can guarantee you that I can lock you at the rate that I quote you is if I have an application, a full application, so that I can go, hey, this is the rate I have. Click, click, lock. That's it. Like the days, like this is like decades ago, 3 weeks ago, when I could say, yeah, I'm at this rate. Yeah, if you can get it in by the end of the day, that would be great. You know, because rates change every day. Dead. Those days are gone. It is now the days of, oh my God, how many pricing changes have I had? And it's interesting because we've never seen anything like this. I haven't, not this level of volatility for this extended period of time. Like I've seen it in bursts where you'll have like a week where it's crazy and then it settles out. And you know, people are like, well, what's driving it? What's driving it? Well, you've got fears of inflation, but at the same time you have the Fed saying, hey guys, we're not really worried about inflation, so we're not sure why you are. So it's like this cycle that's just driving right now. Like I was joking to a client, I'm like, we're the new GameStop. I don't even know what to tell you, rates are changing so much. You know, I had one client where 3 weeks ago, they were at 2.625. At the highest of this madness, it was 3.125. And then we ended up about 2.728. All over 2 weeks and like 45 pricing changes. So if you guys talk to a lender and they say, hey, you know, this is the rate I can do, and you call them back 4 hours later and they tell you the rates changed, they're not bamboozling you guys. That is seriously what is happening in this market. And if someone says, well, which way is it going? I have no idea. I have no idea. And you've got 50% of the market, I said this last time, 50% of the market says up, 50% of the market says down. Well, guess what? They're fighting every single day. So my rate sheet's like up, down, 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 up. It's like trying to catch a stick of dynamite that's been lit. Good luck. Good luck. So for my refinancers, if you guys are serious, get your app in. And if you're like, well, I think it's gonna go down. Guys, you thought that last time and now it's going up. So, you know, maybe it's time to lock it in, not play the looking for bottom again, because a lot of people who thought that it was gonna go lower, they lost out on some pretty awesome rates. Now, for my buyers, you guys are so nervous. Don't be. It's gonna be okay. Mama's here. Okay, so here's what's going on. Buyers, we're not locking you till you're in contract. So you need to emotionally detach from the volatility, okay? Keep an eye, like maybe watch the news. Like I always tell my clients, you can go to my website, it updates daily. It's not updating to the minute like what I'm seeing, but it will give you ballpark, right? Because there's nothing you can do right now, until we start seeing those lock-in shop programs come out again. You just have to wait till you're in contract. And then everyone who I'm working with that gets into contract, the second we have the contract, we are trying to see if the rates are where we want to lock them. And we're all over that like crazy. And then if the client likes the rate, we're locking it. We're not playing around with like, well, maybe it will go down tomorrow. Who the heck knows? Days that we think like, oh, this came out in the news, this should make rates go down. It doesn't. It makes them go up 4 times. And you're like, it's a riddle. It's a riddle. So don't get emotionally invested in it. Refinancers, guys, last call, let's do this. Okay, so what else is going on? Appraisals, appraisals are still kind of all over the map in terms of coming in low. We're seeing agents. It's interesting, it depends on the part of the country you're in. Like some agents really don't overbid, whereas there's parts of the country where half of the market dynamic is driven by the agents because they're all overbidding to such a crazy level. Whereas, in markets where the agents are using comps and stuff, we're seeing not that level of hype. And it's not that any of these markets are less competitive. Across the country, every single market is competitive. I have yet to see one where they're like, oh yeah, the client has a week to make up their mind. The only time the client has a week to put an offer in is if the agent's waiting a week to accept all offers, which we're seeing. So it's super important that you guys are fully pre-approved. I can't stress that enough. If you're watching this and you're out shopping and you haven't been pre-approved, guys, you need to get pre-approved, because if you like that house, you will most likely be competing with other people. And I can tell you as a lender, the listing agents call me. They call me. And because if they have 10 offers that they have to show their seller, they have to find the strongest offer. And if you guys are turning in an offer without a pre-approval letter and there's 9 offers with pre-approval letters, and the listing agent can call those lenders and be like, okay, great, do you have documents? Does the lender call them back? Like, half the reason that I think we have so many clients who keep on coming back to us is because if a listing agent calls me, I call them back. Like, immediately, as quickly as I can, I'm on the phone with the listing agent telling them how amazing the client is, but also letting them know my team has verified income and assets and we have a desktop underwriting approval. That's very important, because if a listing agent calls your lender and your lender's like, they filled out an app, why would they take your offer over my clients who's had their income assets verified and we have a full desktop underwriting? If you guys are the same price, they're gonna take the sure thing. So very important to know. I think those are the really big 2 things to think about. For my new construction people, new construction, man, that is booming. And it's actually where we're seeing a lot of buyers get in, because you're not having the bidding wars that you're seeing with houses that are already built. So new construction, tomorrow we're gonna be talking about extended locks. Yes, we're back to extended locks. So before we weren't really doing that because we were in a declining market, but now who the heck knows what we're in? But it has gone up. So now we're gonna be talking about, long-term locks up to a year. Yes. So tune in for tomorrow. I hope this has been helpful. Don't let the rate swings kill you. If your lender quotes you a rate and then it changes when you call back an hour to lock it, that's on you guys. You gotta be ready to lock the minute the lender gives you the rate in this market. I hope it stabilizes, but until it does, that would be my top tip. Thanks for watching.